and they need to be treated in that manner. I mean, we have a professional job to do. We ain't there to be easy on nobody. We ain't there to be hard on nobody. We're there to hold them in a safe, effective manner, and to do our job that we were charged to do.
Okay. Next question, R.W. Talk to us about your plans for any work release program.
I have several different levels of a work release program. Some of them, but I would have to be discussing obviously with our county attorney to see what the county's comfort level is. One of the biggest problems with our work release program is that we need to be working with our local judges to decide exactly what levels they want to allow us. I mean, back to some of these other successful jails, they're running 2 and 3 tier systems for work release, where some people are in the jail at certain times of days and they're gone for a certain amount of times a day. There's another one where we have like an off-site deal. Then we have the home ankle monitoring system. There's several tiers of it, and we really need to get a policy within our county that is very understandable to everybody what is going to be available. Right now we don't have a lot available. I would love to say there's wonderful, grand, vast things I would like to do, but the number one thing is we have to get a lot of people in this county on the same page if we're going to make a concerted effort to make things better.
All right. R.D., same question please regarding maybe plans for work release.
I've campaigned about a work release since I filed for this office. I've spoke to several of the physical court members. I've spoke to Judge Wallace on making this program work. Right now, the only ones that works on the outside of the jail is the Class D classification inmates, state prisoners. However, you can allow a county inmate to work outside the jail. It takes permission from the judge executive, not actually the district judge or circuit judge, from the judge executive, because they would fall under the county's insurance policy. I'm all for the work program. I think a lot of that goes back to our drugs. The American work ethic is not instilled in people anymore. They go and they rely upon the drugs. They don't get a job to maintain an income. They want to turn to recreational drugs. I think that a lot of the problems in the jail, the fighting and carrying on, I think they can be minimized by a good work program. If I go out and work all day long, starting early in the morning, when I get home, I'm ready to take a shower, eat my supper, maybe watch a little TV, and lay down and go to bed. We're going to take the fight. This program is not only going to help Carter County be beautiful, but we're going to release a lot of the tension and problems within the jail itself.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions. If you'll try to answer them as quickly as possible, as our time is running out. And back to you, R.D., on this. Someone has called in a question. How would you put an end to what would be favoritism?
I've never been a big fan of favoritism. I coached football, and that was one of my rules. I told the kids and I told the parents, didn't care what their last name was or how much money they had. If you give me a good effort, that's who played in the game. I don't pick favorites. I never have. I've always tried to be fair across the board, treat people the way I want to be treated. And I'm not for favoritism in no way, shape, or form.
And R.W., how would you implement a way to put an end to what some people are saying is happening, favoritism?
Well, we already have, rules and regulations in place. We would just follow them. I mean, I don't care who you are. We have, rules we're going to go by. It doesn't matter, who you know or whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I don't like the old-time politics. I don't like it. I need to do a favor for this person because their last name's this person, and that's going to get me 100 votes, here in 4 years. 4 years from now, I don't care about. It's today, it's now, it's the course of the next 4 years. I want to make a positive difference in our Carter County Jail. If at the end of that time I've not done, the favors that requires me to stay in that, then apparently I have joined a system that I don't want to be a part of. So that's...
Another quick question, R.W., regarding your policy and plans and coordination of transport of prisoners.
Mm-hmm. I would like to expand that. Obviously we're going to work with the sheriff's, programs and everything that we currently have in place. There's a lot of very successful federal transport, programs out there that I would like to, become a bigger part of. And actually, that's a very serious revenue producing, part of any county jail. And I think if we can increase the federal transport, we can almost offset some of these costs that, people's worried about that, we're taking from the county roads, we're taking from this, we're taking from that.
Another quick question has been called in on the follow-up that would the new jailer allow constables to transport prisoners to earn money? Is that permissible?
That would be a decision that, you would have to make with the judge executive, you would have to make with the county attorney. I think without the proper training, no. Our jail needs to be ACA accredited. It hasn't been up to this point. I'm very good at writing grants. I want to get some, justice grants in there to expand some of these programs. We're in a situation, we have a regional holding facility that's big enough that it can be a profit center for the county. And I would just say, I want to work with what I have.
Okay. Are they transporting of prisoners? What policy do you think that you might implement, and go ahead and answer that question also about constables?
I would have to, I don't know what the jail's policy contains at this time on transporting prisoners. However, if it's a female prisoner, 2 guards or deputy jailers would be transporting that prisoner to the hospital, to the medical doctor, to the courthouse, whatever it may be. I know the law requires all vehicles that prisoners are transported in to have a prison partition and a mobile radio in case something was to go on. The federal transport services that the Carter County Detention Center does, it's my understanding they have, as of right now, they have a good working relationship with the U.S. Marshals. It's my understanding that the U.S. Marshals wants to increase that relationship that they have with the detention center. And yes, it is a good revenue making job for the detention center. There's Grayson County, Kentucky, generates a lot of its revenue from transporting of federal prisoners. So I'd have to look and see what the current policy says, and go from there.
Okay. It's time now for our closing statements, again by the flip of the coin. Our Republican candidate for Carter County Jailer, R.W. Boggs, and your final appeal, R.W., to the voters of Carter County.
All right. Again, I want to thank everybody for allowing us to, become, an option for people to get to see what my opponent and myself has to offer. My opponent said that he is not campaigning on thoughts, theories, or innovation, but is following his plan. That is the same plan every jailer in Kentucky is attempting at this point, and that plan is not working. We do not see jails getting less crowded. They've shown little success in dealing with our pill epidemic, and acts of violence in jails is on the rise. In these desperate times, thoughts and innovations are exactly what we must look toward to change a broken system. Insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over again in hopes to get a different response. Since the Kentucky Jailers Association has shown excitement about my thoughts and innovations, I must be heading in the right direction. I know the Carter County voters have spoke with, and they welcome my enthusiasm, professionalism, and strong sense of purpose. And that purpose is very clear to me, that God has led me through the experiences of my life to this point to make a difference for Carter County, my family, and yours. I humbly ask to be your public servant. I appreciate your support, and I'm asking for your vote on November 2nd. Thank you.
Very good. Those were the closing remarks. R.W. Boggs, a Republican candidate, and now our Democratic candidate, R.D. Porter, your closing remarks.
Yes, again, KJ, I'd like to thank yourself and the rest of the Go Radio staff, the Chamber of Commerce, and everyone that's maybe tuned in and listening tonight or watching us on TV 14. I thank each and every voter for the opportunity they've given me to sit here tonight as your Democratic nominee. I feel in the condition that the jail's in and the times that we're living in, I feel that with my 18 years of law enforcement experience, all the hours of my training, education in both law enforcement, corrections, and emergency preparedness, I feel that I am qualified for the job that's at hand. And my plan is, as I stated earlier, my plan is one that has worked in jails throughout Kentucky and our great nation. Many of you may have already looked at it. I've got a website. It's www.rdporterforjailer.com. Go under the video link. There's some videos that shows in South Carolina, California, Illinois, and Indiana where these programs are working. They're being successful. People who's went through this program, I believe it was DeKalb County, Indiana, 350 inmates went through the program, and only 30 of them was repeat offenders. It is working, it does work, and it can work here in Carter County if I'm elected as your next Carter County jailer. With that being said, I humbly ask for your vote and support on November 2nd as your next Carter County jailer. Thank you and God bless.
All right, very good. We will have a new Carter County jailer come November the 2nd, and we do urge you to get out and vote, of course, Election Day. And we want to thank RW and RD, R.W. Boggs, Republican candidate, R.D. Porter, Democratic candidate for Carter County jailer. Gentlemen, you both did an excellent job tonight, and we hope that the listeners, I'm sure, are informed and will be able to make up their minds between now and November the 2nd. And we encourage you now to join us tomorrow night as we'll continue our series on candidate forums. Tomorrow night we'll be talking to the candidates for Carter County Attorney. So join us at 5:30 tomorrow evening here on Go Radio, TV 14, and our online channel. Have a good evening, everyone.